Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So I was really excited to make this video for you guys because I'm gonna give you guys 9 tips on how to be successful on your weight loss journey. I have been doing this for 91 weeks now and I have learned so incredibly much about me, about my journey, and just things have changed since when I first started, since when I began this journey 91 weeks ago. So I want to help you be successful as well. I do have other videos on tips and motivation, but like I said, I've just learned so much, so I really wanted to make a new video and give you some new tips, maybe some old ones too, on how to be successful on your journey as well. So let's get started. Alright guys, before we get started, please smash that subscribe button, like this video, and comment below. I love the interaction. I love your comments. I also have a support group on Facebook, The Shrinkables, so if you're not yet a part of that, I definitely encourage you to join us, join our little weight loss community. It is growing, and it does make me so happy that everyone can just kind of come together and do this with one another. We all need that support, so definitely join us. That link is below. Also, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional by any means. My channel is just my journey to lose a total of 200 pounds from my highest weight and to conquer my food addiction. So if you do have any questions about anything, always check with your doctor first. All right, guys, let's just get into it with tip number 1. Work on your mindset, okay? This is the most important tip that I can give you, and it is a tip that I have always given you, and I talk about it probably in almost every single one of my videos. Mindset is everything. It is everything. It's not about the body. It's not about the physical. It is about the mind. It is about the emotional, mental part of this. And if we don't fix our mindset, then we are not going to be successful. So the question is, how do we do it, right? How do we fix our mindset? Well, you have to put the effort in. You know, a lot of us will naturally feel negative emotions, and I hate that, but we're human, right? We can just easily feel bad about ourselves, you know, when we mess up or when we do something we're not supposed to do. We instantly feel that shame and that guilt. We need to stop doing that, and it is possible to do that. But we have to make an effort to replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Recognize it when it happens. When you start thinking about something, about yourself, you know, and your journey and how crappy you're doing and you know, man, you just messed up again. And why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep failing, you know, over and over and over again? Get those thoughts out of your head because that's not going to help you, okay? You need to replace those thoughts with good thoughts. Yes, I made mistakes this week. I'm not proud of them, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get back on track because I know that I can do that. I believe in myself. I have what it takes to do this, and I am strong enough to do this. So I'm gonna forgive myself for what I've done, and I'm just gonna get back up. Those are the good, healthy thoughts that you need to put in your head and keep saying them over and over and over again. I am awesome. I am strong. I am worthy of that life that I want. And I can do this. Work on the mindset, guys, because this is not a physical battle. It's a mental battle. Tip number 2, be patient. This is a tip that I have learned after doing this for so long, because in the beginning, when I first started, I wanted the weight to just fall off. Who doesn't, right? Like, we just want to lose weight. We just want to feel good. You know, we don't want to feel like crap anymore, and we just want to fit into those smaller clothes, and we want to see the scale go down, and we want it to happen fast, because honestly, I think a lot of us are impatient, you know, and we just want to see the results, because if we don't see results, then we can get discouraged and give up. But I'm telling you guys, be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your journey. Be patient with the scale, because the slower the weight comes off, the more successful you're going to be. And that is something that I have learned, because when the weight comes off slow and you really, really make an effort to, you know, not give up, and you just keep going, keep getting back on track, but you allow yourself to learn. You allow yourself to learn about yourself, about what works, about what doesn't work. And then that just sets you up for success, because that is where we're going to change. That's where transformation happens, right? Is when we learn and when we grow. And if we just start our weight loss journey and the weight just falls off super, super fast, we're not going to learn anything. Take me for an example. I had gastric bypass surgery in 2015, and I followed all the rules and did everything I was supposed to do. And it was great. I lost 126 pounds in a year. And then I had my precious babies. I had Ozzy, and then I had Jack and Riley, the twins. And I didn't allow myself to learn what I needed to learn because the weight just came off so quickly. Did I feel great? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was such a great experience, actually getting into Wonderland and fitting into these smaller clothes. And even though I still looked at myself as an obese person, my mind hadn't caught up with my body because it happened so quickly. I still felt good, right? And I'm getting compliments from people. People are noticing. But I didn't learn. I didn't learn how to do this. I didn't work on the mental part. And I ended up gaining 100 pounds back after I had my kids. And so here I am losing the weight again. But this time it's coming off a lot slower. And in the beginning, when the weight started to slow down, I was really super frustrated and discouraged, and I wanted to lose weight fast because that's just the type of person I am. I need to see those results. So I have learned that being patient with myself and this journey is ultimately going to set me up for success, because I'm going to learn everything I need to learn in order to be successful, in order to maintain this lifestyle for the rest of my life. So that is tip number 2. Be patient with yourself, guys. Tip number 3, stop dieting. All right. This is a lifestyle. It is not a diet. And, the food that we eat, our nutrition, what we put inside of our bodies, it is called our diet. But when you associate the word diet with your weight loss journey, it just exudes negative, toxic, dreaded feelings, like, oh, I have to go on a diet. I'm going on a diet. It's just such a negative term when it comes to a weight loss journey. As a child, I felt like I was constantly on diets because I was always the fat one. I was the fat kid. I was the fat friend. I was the fat sister. I had 2 older brothers that I grew up with, and they were thin and I was not. I was constantly on diets. I did Jenny Craig when I was 12 years old. And it was always just considered dieting for me and restricting, and restriction leads to binging. And that's a scary place to be, because when you restrict your body of foods, your body is just going to want it even more. And I do keto. Keto is what works for me. And keto is a very restrictive lifestyle if you think about it, because there's a lot of foods that you're not supposed to eat. But I never feel restricted. That's the beauty of keto. It works with your body to turn your body into a fat burning machine, to burn fat for fuel rather than carbs. But if you do it right, you always feel satiated. You always feel good. You never feel like you're missing out on something unless you eat that something. So stop thinking of it as a diet and find a lifestyle that is going to work for you, that you are going to fall in love with for the rest of your life, something that is going to be successful for you. Stop the dieting. All right, tip number 4, learn the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. Tough one, right? So I have lived as an obese person almost my entire life. I'm 41 years old, and it's just the lifestyle that I have always lived. I am an emotional eater, and really learning the difference between the two was something that I had to do in this journey if I wanted to be successful, and really knowing the difference. So you start to feel hungry, you want to eat, stop in that moment and really concentrate on your body. Like, are you physically hungry? You know what it feels like to be physically hungry, right? Like that growling in your tummy, and you feel hunger. You know what that feels like. Stop and ask yourself, okay, am I feeling that right now? Or what's going on around me? Am I stressed? Am I bored? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I angry? If you're an emotional eater like me, then every single emotion you're going to feel, you're going to want to eat, right? Because food has always been there for me. It has always been my biggest friend and my biggest enemy, my biggest frenemy. And every time I felt any type of emotion, that's who I would turn to. I would turn to my good friend food. And so really figuring out, okay, is this me just wanting to emotionally eat, or am I physically hungry? Learn the difference between the two. And really it's just stopping in that moment and really concentrating on what you're feeling and what's going on around you. Tip number 5, I have given this tip many, many times. Use intermittent fasting as a tool. I have been doing intermittent fasting on this keto lifestyle since I started right from the very beginning. And I cannot tell you how this has helped me so incredibly much. Like I just said, I am an emotional eater. So sticking to a fasting schedule helps me so incredibly much, because if I'm feeling any type of emotion and I want to eat, if I am in my fasting window, I will not eat. And so it just saves me from just eating too much. Also, fasting has so many benefits. There are tons of videos out there. If you just search in YouTube, intermittent fasting, Jason Fung has some awesome videos. Also Thomas DeLauer. So definitely research if you don't know anything about it, but fasting has been a great tool for me. In the beginning, I was pretty strict with my fasting schedule. I stuck to an 18-6 schedule, and that just means that I fasted for 18 hours and ate for 6. Now, I know that it sounds like a lot, 18 hours, but there's a big chunk in there that you're sleeping. So basically all that means is that I skip breakfast and I don't eat after dinner. Now I'm not as strict as I was before. It's more of like a 16-8. I always skip breakfast. I always have my coffee in the morning, but really I just eat when I am physically hungry. So, and usually that is around 11:30, 12 o'clock. So I think my body has just adjusted to a fasting schedule. Honestly, eating breakfast is so foreign to me. And, they always say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Don't miss your breakfast. And they make you think that breakfast has to be in the morning when you wake up. And that's just a myth. It's not true. The word breakfast is break fast. So it just breaks your fast. It's the first meal that you eat that's going to break your fast. So learning more about intermittent fasting, learning more about the benefits, whether you do clean fasting or dirty fasting, I highly recommend you do your research. I do dirty fasting because I do put cream in my coffee. This girl doesn't do black coffee. So definitely do your research and find what works for you. Also talk to your doctor about it. Tip number 6, use strict fasting as tools. So keto egg fast, carnivore, beef and butter fast, alternate day fasting, PSMF, which is protein sparing modified fast, which I have not yet tried, and I'm really intrigued. I really want to try it out sometime. But these are tools that are just going to help you get back on track, break a weight loss plateau, get your mind back in the game, and shock your body to just give you some results. For me, I do the keto egg fast once a month usually, or if I have just had a really bad mess up and my addiction just comes back full force, and if I just want to get some control back, then I will do a strict fast to get me back on track. It works every single time. It doesn't mean that it's not hard. It's very difficult sometimes, especially when I've had like a week of just blowing it, right? And allowing my addiction to come back. It just messes with my mind, it messes with my body, and it's horrible. But I have these tools in my back pocket that are going to help me get back on track. And I know that I'll be using them for the rest of my life because they help me. I'm going to be dealing with my addiction for the rest of my life. So I want to make sure that I set myself up for success and have these tools that are going to help me get back on track. I have a playlist of my keto egg fast videos. I also have carnivore videos and beef and butter fast videos. So I will put them down below in the description, but also in the cards at the end of this video if you guys want to check them out, because this girl loves a good egg fast. Tip number 7, have a good support system. Oh, support means everything. You need to have supportive people in your life. And if you have a family that isn't supportive of your weight loss journey and what you truly need, then find one online. Join us, join the Shrinkables, join people that truly understand what it's like and how hard a weight loss journey is. Find an accountability partner that's just gonna set you straight when you need it, because we need that support. So again, that link is below for my support group, so definitely come join us over there because we will give you the support you need. Tip number 8, be consistent. Consistency is everything. Consistency is something that I am still working on today, especially with exercise. I am not good with being consistent about exercise, but I'm working on it. I'm trying, and I'm really pushing myself to be better. As far as my nutrition, I am very consistent, and being consistent doesn't mean that you're never gonna mess up. This girl messes up all the time, it feels like, but I consistently get back on track. In order to be consistent, you have to do the right thing even when you don't feel it, even when you don't feel like it. And that is being consistent, okay? It's not about never making mistakes. It's not about being perfect. It's just about showing up, continuing to show up every day over and over again and make yourself and your health a priority. Tip number 9, final tip, and really this should be the biggest tip, the number 1 tip. Surrender to God. Surrender your addiction to God. I don't know about you, but I have been trying to do this in my own strength for my entire life. And no wonder I have never been successful. No wonder I kept losing and gaining over and over and over again. And the yo-yo dieting and just never figuring it out because I was always trying to do it in my own strength. And surrendering my addiction, my food addiction to God was the missing piece of my puzzle. And it's something that I am working on and that I'm trying to do every single day because I don't have the strength myself to do this, He has the strength and He wants to share it with us. He wants to help us, but we need to make an effort because when He gives us His strength, we now have a responsibility to take action, right? To do something with it. And so it's just something that I kept failing at, and surrendering it to Him and allowing Him to help you is my final tip, but really, I think it's the most important one. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. 9 tips on how to be successful with your weight loss journey. Comment below which tip stood out to you, and if you are struggling with anything, definitely put it down below. Don't hesitate to reach out to me either. All right, guys, I will see you at the next video. Stay safe and choose health. Bye, guys. Work on the mindset. Hold on. What am I gonna say? So I fast for only 16 hours rather dog feet. Oh my gosh. I just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really should have numbered these.